Finance Minister Tengku Datuk Seri Zafrul Abdul Aziz says the decision on whether or not to grant moratoriums to SMEs is very much dependent on whether the banks think that the SMEs have repayment issues. However, he adds that the government can encourage policies that are helping and assisting the people, expressing hope that the banks and Bank Negara will continue to support micro, small and medium enterprises that are genuinely facing difficulties. Zafrul says he is optimistic, together with BNM, that Malaysia's economic growth this year will even surpass the government's expectations, which is between 5.3 and 6.3%. Zafrul points out that Malaysia's economy has been growing strongly so far thanks to rising domestic consumption, a stronger export sector and better loan growth, among others. Thus, he adds that measures taken during the COVID-19 pandemic-triggered economic crisis might not be the best solution for now. Zafrul said limited resources should be used to help target groups and blanket support might not be sustainable. He notes that SMEs and MSMEs have received a lot of assistance from the government, such as financing with a moratorium in Budget 2022 under the Semarak Niaga initiative. In fact, the SME Association has been reported as saying that another loan moratorium will only exacerbate SMEs' problems, Bernama reports. Zafrul says banks are starting to lend even more than pre-pandemic levels, adding that the banking sector's net financing grew by 4.9% in the second quarter of this year. He says the disbursement has actually surpassed pre-pandemic levels, going up to 71 billion in the second quarter, compared with an average of 57 billion during 2017 to 2019, which means banks are still lending. The 1MDB Tanah Merah trial was vacated on Tuesday as convicted ex-PM Datuk Seri Najib Razak was hospitalised. His lawyer Tan Sri Muhammad Shafi Abdullah informed the court of the matter during a brief mention in the morning before a High Court Judge Datuk Colin Lawrence Kira. Shafi said that Najib is currently warded at Hospital KL and that the cause of his health issues still has yet to be determined. The judge called for all parties to return on Wednesday afternoon to further assess the situation. Speaking to the press later, Shafi said Najib is experiencing fluctuations in his blood pressure for no apparent reason. Proceedings were also cut short on Monday after lead prosecutor Datuk Seri Gopal Sriram informed the court that Najib had been adversely impacted by a change in his blood pressure medication. Bernama quoted Health Minister Khairi Jamaluddin as saying that Najib is in stable condition and will remain in HKL for treatment. Khairi said he contacted HKL Director Datin Paduka Dr. Rohana Johan and was informed that Najib was in stable condition and there was no need for him to be transferred to the National Heart Institute. He said this in response to an earlier statement by Shafi, who said that his client was likely to be transferred to IJN. On claims that Najib was having high blood pressure because his medication was changed, Khairi said that this was not true. He explained that Najib was given a generic high blood pressure medication by HKL, whose formula was the same as what he was taking previously. Sime Darby Plantation says it is still awaiting a decision and feedback from the US Customs and Border Protection over allegations of forced labour against the planter. According to SDP's Chief Sustainability Officer Rashid Reza Anwaruddin, the group had submitted the report in April this year. When asked when the decision on lifting the withhold release order imposed on SDP will be made, Rashid says that the CBP will decide and SDP has no say in the process. When asked if there was any feedback given since the submission of the report, Rashid explains that it's something between SDP and the CBP. To clarify, SDP had filed the impact report submission on April 26 this year, which included a detailed assessment of its Malaysian operations mapped against each of the International Labour Organization forced labour indicators, as well as an in-depth description of improved governance structures and management systems. Over the past 2 years, 8 Malaysian companies have been subject to WROs from the US authorities, comprising producers of rubber gloves and palm oil products. Based on the latest from CBP's website, 6 Malaysian entities are still showing as active on their WRO status. The Edge Communications former editor-in-chief Ahmad Azam Muhammad Aris was on Tuesday charged in court for criminal defamation over two news reports on the abnormal surge in penny stocks in 2020 and 2021. Ahmad Azam was charged in two cases at the Petaling Jaya Magistrates Court. The Edge's contributing editor Shanmugam Murugasu has also been named as an accused in one of the cases. These cases are being heard before magistrates Nur Shahira Abdul Salim and Zafran Rahim Hamza. Ahmad Azam is charged for allegedly tarnishing the reputation of Medtronic Global Non-Executive Director Datuk Kwa Kai Xuan, DGB Asia, Thrive Property Group, Medtronic Global and MNC Wireless. He pleaded not guilty to all charges. As the charges were laid at the last minute, Shanmugam, who is currently not in the country, was unable to attend court. As such, Magistrate Nur Shahira has given him a discharge not amounting to acquittal until he is back in the country. Upon his return, Shanmugam will be recharged. Deputy Public Prosecutor Siti Mariam Jamila Mat Kamal and Farhana Fuad Muhammad Faiz both proposed 8,000 ringgit bail for each of Ahmad Azam's cases, which fall under Section 500 of the Penal Code. Defence Counsel Raj Suryan Pillai told the magistrates that these are not arrestable offences and that Ahmad Azam was able to attend the proceeding despite only being informed of the charges at 6:30 p.m. the previous evening. Therefore, Raj Suryan requested bail without surety or the lowest possible bail of 500 to 1,000 for Ahmad Azam, as bail is not meant to be punishment for the accused. Furthermore, Raj Suryan reasoned Ahmad Azam has been cooperative with the investigating officer and the IO has not encountered any issues over the course of the investigation so far. Nur Shahira allowed a bail of 500 with one bailer, while Zafran allowed a bail of 2,500 with one bailer. Both magistrates fixed November 22nd for the next case management. Malayan United Industries retail arm MJ Department Stores, which runs Metrojaya outlets in Malaysia, is planning to open its latest outlet at Lalaport BBCC Retail Hub on September 21st. In an invite, Metrojaya said it is committed to providing exclusive yet affordable fashion and home goods that cater to the various needs of its customers through the best shopping experience. It says that its lineup of exclusive products will comprise brands such as East India Company, Somerset Bay and Bill Keith, among others. MUI is an investment holding company that counts retailing, hotels, food and confectionery, financial services and property development as its core businesses. The group is based in Malaysia but also operates in the UK, continental Europe, the US and the Asia Pacific.